Hi guys, so just to introduce myself, my name is Daniel Morales. Um, Sorry if you guys can not really understand me, it's just that I'm sort of just gonna go like through with this one, and because I just don't want to have to do the process of editing, so I'm sorry if I sound like I'm mumbling or if I'm just ranting, but the purpose of this video is to share my coming out story. And I know there's like 1,000 of them like online, especially on YouTube, but I just felt like I needed just to get this out, so that way, I don't know, like if, because I feel like, when it's come to like gays, lesbian, even bisexual or transgender, I feel like every coming out story is different, and for some, it could be good, some could be bad. For some, like me, it's like where you're kind of stuck in the middle almost. So, to make a long story short, yes, I am gay. I knew that from a very long time. Like I'll say, probably when I was a little kid, I knew that I was always attracted to guys, and I never really look at girls as like sexually. You know what I mean? Me, yeah, I think girls are pretty, yeah, but I never view them as like, oh my god, I want this girl to be my girlfriend or something like that. My attraction has always been towards guys. And if you're a kid like me, and like every time when you would go to the store, and especially like where your mom like was shopping for like your underwears, like when you're like a kid like me, when you see like the picture of the hot guys on the underwears and t-shirts and sometimes even socks too, you're like, oh my god. So yeah, to me that's why I consider like my little porno section. But yeah, when when I first came out, I didn't necessarily came out to my family. Some to this day don't even know, or probably don't even know if that I'm actually gay. Some do, but like not all of them. But when I came out to my sister, because at the time I was just watching like a whole bunch of coming out stories, and growing up I was like struggling with my identity. And at the time, like when whenever like I see like movies or TV shows where it involve like gay or lesbian couples, I always found that not to be like, I didn't find that to be strange. Like yeah, it's abnormal when you're like a little kid, but when you when I saw those movies, those TV shows, especially the show Queer as Folk, which was a really good show by the way. I don't know if like I was like really drawn into that. I was really drawn into that lifestyle. And as I grew older, I realized like the more that I'm struggling with this, the more that I realize I'm not gonna be like my true authentic self. So when I came out to my sister, it was a huge relief, because even though like my family don't really know, like they already knew, if you know what I meant. And I'm sure that happened to like most people who are like, struggling with their identity. That like, yeah, your friends or your close friends and family, they already knew, but they just didn't say it because they didn't want to say it there for sure. And I remember when I came up to my sister, she did ask me a question like, well, how long do you know you're like this? Like, are you attracted to all guys? And she was just asking me questions. But at the end of the day, like my family, luckily I did grow up with a family who are very accepting. But at the same time, I did grow up with a family that could be very passive aggressive and judgmental. Meaning that like at times, like when if we were well, not me, but like if, let's just say like a certain member of my family, I do have an aunt that is bisexual, and I do have a aunt from my dad's side of the family um, who's a lesbian. And if you hear that, that's just a firework. So, or gunshot. I don't know. I don't live in a good area, so don't mind the excess noise out there. But yeah, so like, as far as like gay, bisexual, or even lesbians in my family, it really wasn't like a big deal because like I grew up around that. And considering the family members that I used to live with, especially when I used to live with my dad, I grew up in a very dysfunctional family. And if you're Mexican like me, and you grew up with like a bunch of aunts and uncles, where like literally like the freaking weekend would be just like them coming over to my house. My dad would have like some kind of like get together or whatever, and people get drunk and shit, and yeah, sometimes even cops for a call too. I'm just gonna let you know. But yeah, like I didn't grow up like in a very traditional household, like where you have a mom, dad, your brother, sister. Like I did. I grew up in a very dysfunctional household. My parents were not the greatest parents at all. And I love them, don't get me wrong, but like over the years, they just got involved in something that they both should have done. And unfortunately, like it did kind of like lead me to a point where like I didn't really have anybody to look up to. I did have brothers and sister. I have an older sister. I used to have a an older brother, but he passed away like a long time ago. And I did have two little brothers and sisters. But I don't know, like as I grew up, I didn't have anybody to look up to, or I didn't have like any like inspiration. Like like when you're a kid and you were to see like a certain somebody, or you to hang out with like your older brother and sister, and sometimes you aspire to be like them because you like what they do. Well, for me, it really wasn't like that. It was like I always had to be out like on movies, shows, and sometimes like I would be stuck in my own little world to the point where I would just zone out of reality. And there are times where like I wish I could be like this person's or this character from a movie or TV show. And I don't know, like as I grew up, I realized that I wasn't comfortable who I was because I wasn't being myself. And at the time, when coming out was not like really a thing, and it was, and when I was a kid, we didn't have all this, like we didn't have Pride Month or anything like that. So like we don't necessarily see that, and you don't have like the videos like of other people coming out. It's really kind of hard to like try to be your authentic self, you know what I mean? So as the year went, I just sort of like suppressed my feelings, but my attraction for guys were just like they just kept going on and on and on. And then it wasn't until like I said when I was 18. When I turned 18 and I went to college is when I started to experiment. I won't say experiment, but like try out, see how dating guys is. And the first guy that I actually dated, he was like probably 26. So I was like 18, but he was like way older than me. And yeah, we were just like talking and just trying to get to know each other. And then yeah, we ended up dating for a little bit, but like it was just a short period because from what I recall, he just he said that he has to move or something because he was gonna move somewhere like in Chicago or something. I think it was Chicago or Detroit, one of the two. But he said he was moving, but like he said he had a good time. We keep in touch. We never keep in touch. And then from there, like I would just like I'm not gonna lie, and like I'm not into the big of the hookups and anything, but I did hook up a couple guys, and I did at one point where like I'll meet a guy, and sometime the next day we will, you know, we will sleep together. And it was something I'm not proud of, but at the time I was just exploring my own sexuality, and I was trying to figure out who I was. So as you know, the years progress, I realized what I like and I don't like, as far as for me when it comes to a guy, and what I want in a relationship when it comes to a guy. And mind you too, like this is a time where like I didn't tell anybody. And then like as you know, I realized that I wanted that, you know, commitment, that emotion from a guy, not just, you know, physical. That's the point where I kind of realized like, look, I gotta tell people that I'm, you know, who I am. And it's not about like telling them, it's just, you know, finally for me coming out of my shell, not always like second thinking or worrying if this person gonna think of me. Yeah, there are times too where like I was afraid if let's say that if I did bring a guy, like how my parents was gonna react, how my family was gonna react, how my friends were gonna react too. So for me, it was just like a clarification of what I just wanted to. How can I say it? It was like a way for me where I could just like feel like relief of not just hiding this secret anymore, and hoping that it really wasn't a secret, that I was hoping that, you know, my family knew, my friends knew, and they did. And at the end of the day, you know, like they weren't really harsh for me. They did just ask me questions like, well, how do you know, and all that stuff. But for the most part, you know, it was cool. And to this day, you know, I still appreciate them of always loving and accepting me from my good and bad, and they didn't treat me any different too. Like at the end of the day, like as time progressed, I was pretty much still the same person that I was before. So that was good to know. And from there, like yeah, like I was just exploring. I don't want to use the word exploring because that's still like kind of like. But yeah, from there, that's when like I'm started talking to guys more, and I did, you know, eventually had like a relationship where it did last for like a year and a half, but we broke up because at the time we were just, you know, at the time when we broke up, we were just like in different places in our life, and the feelings that we have for each other when we first met just kind of like dissolved, and we just didn't know how to get back. So we both thought it was best just for us to, you know, go our separate ways and hope we find somebody, you know, who we can love, and hope that they can love us back. And yeah, you know, like I didn't date it that often. Like after my breakup, I just pretty much been single. You know, I won't say I was going through like a midlife crisis, but like I was just, you know, trying to find myself, like what is it that I want to do in life? Where I want to be in life? And I'm still at the stage, but hopefully one day, you know, I get to where I want to be. And yeah, I mean, like my coming out story is nothing dramatic or anything like that. But I know there's you know, guys and girls who do struggle with their own sexuality, and if anything, if you live in a family or friends where they're really judgmental, where they think gay is a sin, and if you tell your parents and their parents gonna tell you that they don't accept you and they're gonna kick you out, obviously, like, my recommendation is to wait until you have the financial and motivational gains, and where you could just kind of like not rely on them, and you can rely on people, friends, or even other family members too, who's gonna back you up. And once you have those, and if at the time, if you feel like you're ready to tell them, your parents or whoever you want to tell about your sexuality, then go for it. But if you do live like in the household where Christianity is a big thing, or religion is a big thing, and being gay or lesbian, bisexual is a sin, then just wait until like you're not in that position where they're just gonna kick you out in the street or something like that. And one more thing too is that if you do struggle with your own sexual identity, just one thing that I always do, and I still do to this day, is just look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that you're awesome, and pretty much just treat every day like a new day, and just try to live the best life that you can. Well then, we're pretty much just gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna try to do more of these, and hopefully, in my future videos, I could get better at this, because this is my first time actually of filming video. But yeah, hopefully next time I get better, and whoever sees this, if they could kind of relate what I'm going through, just to let you know that you're not alone, and trust me, there are people who are gonna have your back. Strangers, yeah, but you know what? If your friend loves you, and if your family really loves you, and they care about you, then they're gonna have your back. For some, it might take time, but it will happen. Alright,